Welcome back to Good Moms, Bad Choices. I'm Erica.
And I'm Milah.
And it's Wednesday, y'all.
Happy hump day.
And it's the last week of April Wellness April.
Aw, I'm feeling very well though, so it's all good. Wellness, it's going to be wellness life. I'm living a wellness life.
I know, it's just a reminder to be mindful. Hint, hint.
Speaking of mindful, we have a special guest. But first, go ahead and
pull this card.
No, you got to shuffle first, baby.
Okay. All right, let's shuffle.
And now every time I shuffle, I think of you because I do a terrible job, and I'm like, what?
Just as how Jamila shuffles. I don't know what the fuck that is.
You do it backwards.
That's what she does.
I don't know how to shuffle.
I don't do it like that. You do it like this.
Yeah.
And then we pull the card, even though we already did. Okay. I don't know what the point of this is.
Okay. Well, it's called acting.
Boom.
Aren't you an actor? Actor?
We pulled the sun card, guys. It's the sun. The sun. I don't know which camera to look in. Okay. So, Milah, tell us what the sun card is.
The sun upright means it represents success, radiance, and abundance. The sun gives you strength and tells you that no matter where you are, no matter where you go and what you do, your positive and radiant energy will follow you and bring you happiness and joy. That's pretty accurate for our guest today. I feel like your sun is radiating on me. The sun is also an energetic card. It reflects a time when you can expect an experience to... The sun is also an energetic card. It reflects a time when you can expect to experience an increase in physical energy, vitality, and general positivity. You are bursting with enthusiasm, invigorated, and enjoying a wonderful sense of good health. The sun connects you to your power base, not fear-driven, egotistical power, but the abundant inner energy radiating through you right now. You'll sense it in your solar plexus chakra, calling you to express yourself authentically and be fully present in the world around you. You have what others want and are being asked to radiate your energy and your gifts out into the world in a big way. Tap into your power and use your divine will to express that power in positive ways. Thank you, Biddy Tarot, that I go to every week and know the answers.
I like that. I woke up feeling really happy today. I mean, I don't know, because I'm alive, yes, but even, what's the nigga's name that was here? Sean. Sean came in and was like, "You're so happy," and I was like, "I know."
Aren't I?
And he was like, "Why?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't know. Fucking know. Because I'm alive and I'm authentic and radiating my gifts to the world. I'm about to record with my homies. I'm feeling good."
It's funny because we were like literally just talking about authenticity and that we're at this certain age where we don't really have time to like hold our tongue, and I'll say whatever the fuck I want and not feel bad about it. And then we got this wonderful card, the sun.
I don't know if we needed the sun card. I feel like you always say whatever the fuck you want to say.
I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, sometimes I don't say stuff.
Okay. Well, that leads us to introducing our guest.
Wait, we need an affirmation.
Oh, shit. Oh, what is our affirmation?
Our affirmation is, every day I will choose to be happy and authentic.
Every day I will choose to be happy and authentic. Yeah?
Yeah.
I like that.
Just made it up right now.
I like that. Well, we have a very happy and authentic guest here right now who's also very mindful.
And our friend.
And she's a double Scorpio Sag like me. We're
Twinsies.
We're the twins.
There's a lot of water in the room.
Lots of water. So I'm just really excited for you guys. We've had her on before. This was early on in the podcast. If you guys have been listening from the beginning, then you know we had Felicia La Tour on. I think it was our Mother's Day episode.
It was.
I think it was.
Yeah. So I'd love to welcome you back to the show, Felicia. She's a wellness and mental health advocate, owner of Mindful Fee, overall creative, badass mama of two beautiful little babies. Well, one of them's not really a baby anymore, but
I know, it's crazy. Like, where's time gone?
So welcome back to the show, Fee.
Thanks, girls. I love it.
Hi.
Here.
I've been trying to get you back here for a minute, but I know we've been just so busy, and I think we had you scheduled, and then like some shit blew up in my face, and I was like, "Girl, I gotta."
She was like, "I can't do it today. I'm canceled."
I did. I think I messaged her. I was like, "Girl, I have to go with how I'm feeling, and I can't do shit today, so I'm canceling."
I feel like that's a good thing with moms, like working with other moms. I'm like, girl, I get it.
Yeah,
bitch, just go flow.
Yeah, you know, I used to like force shit and like try to like power through things. I still do in some ways, but there's some times where I just like, you know what, not today.
Yeah, no. You gotta be right.
Choose to be authentic to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you've created a whole since the last time we've met, you've created a whole brand really about just being mindful and being authentic. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about Mindful Fee and how it all came to be? And
yeah. So I created the brand Mindful Fee. It started out as just a hashtag. I was trying to find myself, and I was hashtagging 3 different things because at the time I was doing more of like my celebrity makeup artistry. So I did hashtag Fee the Artist, which was makeup, then hashtag Cool Ass Mom, which was like mama stuff, and then hashtag Mindful Fee. And I'm like, okay, which one is going to stick? So Mindful Fee ended up sticking. And the thing that I was talking about was like being aware of self, being mindful of self, growing, but also like not judging yourself, and just sharing the gems that I was finding along the way just through this crazy ass life journey. And then from there, I just started building community, and I no longer wanted to do makeup as much because I wanted to be with the babies. And then it just financially just doesn't make sense when you're a freelance artist. You know what I mean? It's like very stressful. You have to be over here for this certain amount of time. And then people want to negotiate rates. I'm like, I have 2 kids now. I'm not doing this shit. So that's when we started to do clothing. And I was like, we need to make really cool stuff for moms. Like there's moms that are young and that are trendy, and there's nothing. And I also didn't really like how I had peace at 23, and I'm like, why is it that the mama space or the mom space is like predominantly white? Like, why are white women the face
Middle-aged white women, yeah.
Or I would even go to these events, and I would be like the only black girl, and I'm like light-skinned black, so I'm also like this. I don't really like this. So I'm like, okay, we need colorful stuff. We needed to say somebody's mama, like daddy, somebody kid, you know,
right.
Like let's do things that are like that. So, yeah, I just started creating shit that I liked and putting it out, and people fuck with it, and
it's dope.
It's working.
I fucking love
Thank
it.
God.
I love it. I get so many compliments on all my somebody's everything.
I love it.
And even if I'm in the street and I see someone wearing it, I'm like, Fee!
Oh, that makes me so. I had no idea that I feel so full here. Like I wouldn't trade this for anything at all, you know? And then the kid's father, he inspired me within clothing because that's like his background. So I'm like, I had no idea that this was going to turn into, you know, I'm like, I get so excited to go to work. I'm like, oh yeah, they're going to love this. It just, shit works, you know?
It's amazing to like see you grow and watch you grow in your space. Because honestly, like when I followed you on Instagram before I ever met you, before we started the podcast, any of that shit. I don't even like, you know why? Because our daughters' birthdays are close. So we were pregnant at the same time. So I started following you, and I was like looking at your journey. I remember your baby shower, bitch.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
this baby shower is cool. Oh my God, the life
Were
of
you
it.
over there reminiscing on her baby shower, thinking I'm getting engaged to an African prince and shit?
Yeah,
I could have sworn
she was amongst the moms I was envious of like when I was pregnant and like stressed the fuck out. Like my life's not going like I thought. Everybody else's is though. Fuck. God damn it. I got the wrong baby daddy. Shit.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. I guess we all did. No, our kids are perfect. Just weren't the right husbands.
That's the part right there.
Yeah, the kids are perfect. It's just the husband part just didn't quite stick. But I remember like just watching you and watching your journey. So it's so amazing to like see you grow and then be your friend and just see you blossom. I love it. And also, I remember you talking about getting an office space, and like kids weren't going to be allowed. And I was like, yeah. And you've manifested that. So I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
I really am. It's beautiful.
Thank you. We love our little space, and we love that there ain't no kids there. I feel like that's so opposite than what the brand is. But I'm like, I give them everything. I need something for me. Like this is important to me.
That is the brand. The brand is doing what feels right for you. And what feels right for you is like you're a great mom, but also get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, like,
you know, I'm like,
back the fuck up.
And I literally tell my kids to back the fuck up.
Like I need space. Yeah. You have to teach kids boundaries too.
Hell yeah.
So they'll know their own, you know? So that's true.
The last time we met, or not met, but spoke and sat down, you only had peace. And I think I asked you if you wanted more kids, and you said yes. But you didn't know like when that was going to happen, and it did happen very shortly after.
I feel like you were pregnant when you said you didn't know yet.
And remember, at that time, me and their father were like working on things.
Yeah, I was like,
that, and then working on things, shit,
working on other things.
Human, yeah,
worked on a human and then exited left.
Okay, right,
and cut. I'm gonna cut it right here, okay?
Yeah.
Because how old was not Peace Zen when you and your baby daddy broke up?
Oh shit, probably. He was just maybe like 4 or 5 months.
Because I remember you discussing like in our first episode with you about like postpartum and how you were having a hard time.
Yeah.
And then I feel like then you just like got pregnant. You were just working out of the like your mindset. You're getting grounded, and then you got pregnant again, and then that happened. And I know like for a lot of moms and a lot of women that can break you, like having a baby, we all know.
Yeah.
Having a baby by a nigga and then it doesn't work out can seriously break you if you let it. But like it being your second baby and then breaking up shortly after that, how did you like manage after that, being as though you had just experienced it with Peace?
Yeah.
Was it as traumatic, or was it like, oh no, this is what the fuck I need to do and I'm cool with that because this is what I know I need to do?
It was that, but it was also really hard because I think we both knew that this time we're gonna like separate, So that was the harder part to manage. I'm like, okay, how am I gonna do this? 2 kids. And I'm not, that's why I hate when people say the word like, you're a single mom. I'm like, I don't feel like I'm a single mom. I feel like I have a pretty solid co-parent. You know what I mean? If I need something, he's going to do it. Like if I can't do something, he's going to do it, Mm-hmm. So but I also didn't think about that at first. I was like, oh my God, I'm by myself. I kind of went from like, I thought of like worst case scenario, which I feel like was my mom's situation. So I had to slowly but surely like pull myself out. Like, you're not going to be there, Felicia. Your life is completely different, and it wasn't easy. But yeah, I feel like it was like a mix of a little bit of that. Mm-hmm.
And I think like just the word single mom, single, it just like has such weight. It's such a heavy weight. Like when you think of yourself in that way, you have to like, I don't know, we have to change the wording or something. We have to change the narrative behind single mom, because I feel like it's just like, because you don't feel the same weight when you say single dad.
Yeah.
He's like almost
it's almost like, aw.
Yeah, like, oh, you're a single dad?
Oh my God,
no, that's
you're
true.
doing it all alone.
That's
oh my
true.
God, that's so sexy.
It's so cute. Single mom.
Ooh, and he's a single dad. Yeah.
You know what? I have
Right.
to check myself because I met a single dad recently, and and the fact that he's like killing it at fatherhood, like I'm like very turned on by.
But you're
it.
like, bitch, you do this. You do the same thing.
Fuck, you're supposed to be doing this,
right?
Like even I'm falling into the trap of like being like, aw.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
It's just like it's so negative. Even the baby mama.
Yeah.
Baby mama is like just not good. And we have to change the.
No, we have. That's why we got merch that says baby mama.
Oh, right.
Check out our merch on goodmomschoices.com. Check it out.
I'm empowered in being a baby mama.
I have a question because Peace was like, how did you talk to Peace about like the fact that you guys were like, was she old enough to really understand that like mommy and daddy are no longer going to be together? Because like for me, Irie was only I think 2.5, and like I've talked about this before. Like she doesn't even remember us being together. Like she has no recollection of that, which kind of breaks my heart a little bit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Huh?
Because I was like, damn, you're not even. Is this too close?
No, it's okay.
I was like, you're not even gonna like remember, like you don't remember us, your parents being in love, or like seeing us in love and like in the bed together and like playing under the covers with you. Like those are moments that I was like, okay, at least she'll remember that, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
Like so.
This sounded so sad, but she doesn't.
She doesn't.
She has no recollection of the love.
Look, bitch, I tried. I was like, you don't remember this? What about this? I'm like trying to trigger memory.
Ari, look at the picture. Look.
Look,
You were here.
We were together.
We loved each other.
We were together.
She's like, Mom, you're scaring me.
Once upon a time, 5 years ago.
I tried. Shit.
God. Was that a conversation like you had to have with her, or is it like just kind of a natural progression that she just understood?
No, we explained it to her. We explained to her like, just because mommy and daddy aren't together doesn't mean that we're not a family. She didn't understand that. Peace is very like family and big and like movies. Like she is very, I always say piece is my little like American dream. She like wants to go to college. She wants to be married. She wants to have kids. She wants to have a white picket fence. Like she lives in that world, you know? And
where do you think she gets that? TV?
I don't know.
Like TV or film?
I'm like, is there anybody over here got a girl over here with a little artsy, different kind of life? But that's what I was
she's
wondering.
more traditional.
She has it, but she also has a very traditional spirit. Like I don't know. Maybe she's been here before. But yeah,
she's for sure been here before.
She's been here many times.
She's like, well,
she had that picket fence before.
Man, right. So we just had to explain it to her, but she was like really sad, and she was going through a really hard time at first.
Baby.
And I was, I think we both kind of felt guilty, like shit, did we like make the wrong decision? But I just had to keep reminding myself, and then other moms would remind me too, like, no, but their kids will be fine, but your happiness is important. Because I'm like, damn, if I stay and you're unhappy and I'm unhappy, we're creating this like false reality.
Right.
And that was my biggest thing with him. I was like, I'm not happy, and when I'm not happy, I'm a bitch. Like that's just what it is. I can't sugarcoat it. And I was just like, I don't want her to think that like this is how it's supposed to be. I'm like, if it's going to be right, it's going to be right. And I'm like, and being co-parenting and her seeing me, I don't want to say by myself, but like in my tribe that I have now, I feel like it's so healthy, and she loves it and she flourishes, whether she's at my house, his house, anybody, you know? But yeah, we had to explain it to her, and we had to explain it multiple times, you know? Yeah.
You know, it's so interesting. I meant to say this to you yesterday.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what
I
was going to say?
Yeah. Wow, you're my head.
Yeah, because I actually meant to talk to you about it.
I meant to too, but it just passed so quickly. Yesterday, because this is going to come up, because TV and movies and
it's
child.
never come up before. I've never actually heard a child ask.
Well, I have a little girl came to play with
Spit
Luna
it out,
and
damn
same
it.
thing.
Okay,
Okay,
so
sorry.
I'm like, I want to hear what the hell this is.
Do you want to say it? So my daughter had a play date yesterday, and Jamila came over a little bit like later on with Luna, and the little girl, her parents are married. And so, we were getting ready for soccer practice, and the little girl was like, I told Irie, I was like, your dad is going to bring your soccer stuff to the practice, because he had it at his house. And her little friend was like, why doesn't your daddy live here?
No, why does your husband live?
Yeah, why does your husband not live in your house? And I said, because he's not my husband. We don't live together. And she goes, why? And then Irie, I could feel get defensive, and she was like, he's still my dad.
Oh yeah, that's what she said. That was her.
She was like, it doesn't matter. He's still my dad.
Baby.
Oh, I
Wait,
didn't hear her say it
wanna
doesn't
cry.
matter.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
wait.
she did. Like, she felt like defensive, and I was like, oh God. And I was like,
You like, what do I do?
And I said we're cool. I said we're friends. I said me and her dad are friends.
How old is this child?
The same age,
Okay.
same age as the kids, but that's the part. Like, we live in our own universe because
Yeah.
we're single moms as fuck, and we think we're each other's husband. So and Luna and Irie have the same setup. You know what I mean? So they don't even think twice about it. They're like, well, I'm going to my mom's house, going to your dad's house. Where's Irie? Your dad's house? Oh, okay. But when you bring another child into the mix, and when you go to school, because the same thing happened. A little girl came over and was like, where's your dad? Why does he live here? And I was like, oh God, we're gonna have to do this a lot of times. We're gonna have to do this a lot of times. I'm gonna keep fucking saying this shit. Oh my God. You know, but then like those are the times where the kids start to be like, is this not normal? Like, you know, like start to question normalcy, you know, like what's normal and what does that mean for like if my family? Yeah. And then so recently Luna told me yesterday something, it was about rings or something. Like, I don't want something about me wearing a lot of rings, and I had like a David's, like one of those mail in things with like jewelry in it, and she's like, "Why are you looking at rings?" I'm like, "Because I like rings." I wasn't even looking at it. She's like, "You can't get married." I was like, "I want to be married. Why can't I get married?" She's like, "Because then I'm gonna have another dad." I was like, you have two." I'm like, you'll have a stepdad, and you'll have your dad is your only dad. Yeah. It's the only one you got, you know. But you'll have a bonus dad. I was trying to use the terms like from the movies. I was like, and then maybe you have a bonus mom, and she's like, I don't want that. I was like, but what about me?
Baby.
I'm like, you don't want your mom to be married and be happy.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting that like, I feel like most parents are divorced, but maybe not, you know, and that they're going to have to, I feel like it's going to come up a lot for our kids and how they feel about it. So we're going to have to consistently reinforce that there's love and we're friends, even though sometimes we're not, you know? Yeah.
And that's why even like when we do holidays and stuff, we still come together. Like I still go to his mom's house and she hosts something. So Peace is still able to like experience it, but it's also like, I want to be there. You know what I mean? But the other day when we went to San Diego, this little girl in the pool was like, so like, where's your dad at? She was like, oh, my mom and dad aren't together, but explained it like and it made me so proud. Like, okay, girl, you better explain that shit. You better tell her we ain't broken over here. Shit.
But I just saw him, so it's all good. Yeah. Do you? I also feel that a lot as a single parent, as a mom. I always get that question like, is her dad around? Yes, nigga. Yes, he is. He's up the street.
Yeah,
around the corner. Like, so who's watching your daughter? Her daddy?
When people, I don't know why I get so offended when people ask me that question.
I get offended too. Like,
I'm like, why are you asking me
is
that?
it because I'm black? Do you think like the nigga's in jail? I don't know him. Like, why are you asking me that? It does trigger me.
Yeah, I'm
and then they whisper it.
I need to explore that.
Where's her? What's up with their dad? Nigga, what? Speak up! I can't hear you. Why are you whispering?
I know. It is triggering. I don't necessarily think it's a black thing. I think obviously we have sensitivity to it because, you know, there's a stigma around being a single parent and black. But I think moms get it overall. Single moms get it overall. Like, where's your child at? Like, who's watching your kid? Even like my own parent will do the shit. Like, so where is she? I'm like, with her dad. Oh yeah, you forgot about
There's two people.
Yeah. She has another support system, and it's not just me.
Yeah,
I've been trying to really step into that, like, and without guilt, you know, because that's hard. Because niggas can go missing for like a week and nobody says shit. It's all good. But if you do it, you're like the worst fucking mom ever,
honey.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I rebuke that, you know, like I work, I have shit to do, and like I don't know what the fuck you're doing over there, so take this baby and kick rocks, you know. Like I love saying I have business to take care of. I have some business to take care of,
because that's what niggas always say that. Niggas love that. I'll be right back, I gotta go handle some business.
You have no business,
like,
nigga.
What is it?
Literally, it's the black man thing, right?
It is, niggas.
They're always gonna go handle some business,
but they don't have no business.
Right back, I gotta handle some business. I'm like, so
you gonna go smoke a blunt with your homies?
I'm like, so you selling drugs? You gonna go pick up a pack?
What's the business?
What is this?
Because I never heard of it. You don't have one, so I just want you to elaborate. Every time my baby daddy says me he has to do something, like, what?
He's golfing.
I know, but he says I have to go work. I'm like, where do you work?
Oh my gosh.
I still have no answers.
She's all weird. But yeah, I feel that.
You know, like I just want, like, sometimes, I want to be alone and I do fuck shit, and that's okay too. Yeah. Just because I'm a mom doesn't mean I'm not allowed to do that. And I had to tell myself that, you know, like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's almost like I feel like it's major like mommy guilt, because I know when we started, when we first separated, the schedule was like I mainly had the kids, and then over time it started to like get better. It'd be like, okay, you have them a couple more days, and then now it's like it's like a day or like some hours away from 50-50. And I was like, oh my God, I feel guilty because I have 4 days off. Like, what is this? And I asked other co-parenting moms, one mom specifically, she was like, girl, we do every other week. And I'm like, how do you do that? I would feel bad. But now that I'm in it, I'm like, shit. I'm like, it feels great to not have to wake up at 7 a.m. for 4 days in a row, you know?
And also I feel like it's a huge, you're doing your baby daddy a huge disservice if you don't drop those kids off for like an entire week, because people expect that women just do everything. And like, if we went half on this baby, no, nigga, and we're not together, you're definitely gonna have to do everything, and you're gonna have to figure it out, and don't call me. But like, I tell people all the time, and this is probably not a popular statement, but I'm like, I think I was meant to be a single mom, because I will lose my shit if I have you 24/7 and this nigga. I will go crazy. Like, I would have been the most miserable bitch ever, because I was doing everything.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So like, being a single mom is just like, thank you, God. You knew that I needed this. You knew I needed a week break, because I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have.
I have a question.
Those breaks.
I have a question, because both me and Milah only have one child and you have two. Like, do you typically drop them off together, or like, how do you?
Hell yeah, what would be the point?
And also, but I also have a question though, because you do have, like, because having two kids, is it important for you to have one-on-one time with like Peace, and like one-on-one time with your son, so that like they get equal attention? Because I think about that with Irie, because her dad, you know, has 3 kids now, and like sometimes like I get annoyed because I'm like, can you just hang out with your daughter one-on-one?
Yeah.
Like, I need you to, like, she needs her dad
It's
one-on-one,
important. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because she's always gets me one-on-one.
Yeah.
So, like, having two, like, how do you, is that a priority for you? Or how
For
do you do
sure.
that?
And for him too. He actually brought it up like not that long ago. He's like, can we start doing it to where when we drop off, like let's say if I drop them off to him, then he'll just take one and then I'll keep the other. And so, but right now what we do is we would drop the other one off and then maybe like my grandmother will watch, you know, like like his mom or my grandmother kind of plays like the mom role in my life. They'll just watch the other one. I'll be like, oh, me and Peace are gonna go get sushi, and then she'll watch Zen. You know what I mean? So we find a way to like make it work.
Have the one-on-one time. Yeah.
Or even going out of town too. Like
I saw you guys went on a little like mommy daughter trip recently to Big Bear.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll ask him like, hey, can I take Peace for like these days? And he's not tripping. He like, yep, for sure. You know. But and Zen's ass gets my attention because once I drop Peace off to school, it's like him and I. You know. So I'm like, yeah, go with your daddy. He's a boy. Shit.
The boy, I don't know. Boys are different. They're
very
they're a
different.
different species for real. Because I see my friend who has a son, and I'm like, he literally is trying to injure himself. Like he's like, how far can I take it till like I'm almost die?
Yeah, it's scary. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. They're different. Boys are different.
Boys are different.
So now, so having two kids and like also like I know I met you I started following you because of your artistry, doing makeup, and because I work in beauty. You know, we've worked together with Beauty Blender and stuff. But like I know that you've I know creatively you're still creative, and I was reading this post that you posted where you were like, I was a makeup artist and now I'm still playing with colors because I was watching you like tie-dye all your shirts, and you shifting your purpose. Like, was that scary for you, or like how did you like, I guess, find the courage to shift your purpose? Because I think there's a lot of women, moms that are currently in their working in whatever they're doing right now, are unhappy and like want to be doing something else, but don't necessarily have like the courage or don't know where to start. Like, how did you find the courage to kind of shift into what you're doing now? Yeah,
I feel like once their father and I separated, that was like a very pivotal moment in my life of like, all right, you might as well just keep on jumping on the other rocks in the pond, you know? But it was really scary. It was scary as hell because I'm like, okay, I have two kids. I hope that it works. Like, if it doesn't work, what am I going to do? But over the years, I've everything I'm doing now, I've said out loud for like years since I was pregnant with Peace. So I knew it was going to come. I just didn't know it was going to come. Does that make sense?
When?
Yeah. So yeah, I just felt like I had nothing to lose. I'm like, what else am I going to do? Go find a different 9-to-5? That ain't going to pay the bills either. I'm like, so, and then I also feel like the pandemic helped me really like dive in because I'm like, well, everything is closed. I can't physically do makeup, you know? So yeah, I feel like God just got me in a corner like, so what's up? What you gonna do? You can't get out now.
God will do it.
Yeah, and like I said, I was really, I was scared as fuck. And I didn't have like this big old savings or anything, you know what I mean? I wasn't working that much when I was pregnant with Zen because he like kind of fucked up my body a lot. So I was just like, all right, here we go. So we just did like pre-orders so we didn't have to come out of pocket, you know, until we got enough momentum to be able to like invest back. But I would just keep doing it like that. And the shit worked.
It usually does. You know? When you go out on a limb, like when you go out on faith, I feel like that's when the real change happens. When you trust yourself and the universe enough, that's when you like manifest it. I think that's a big thing. People are sometimes we let our fear debilitate us to the point where we're stuck. But it's like as soon as you trust yourself, that's when the universe responds positively.
Hell yeah.
Because just like, yep. Because if you're functioning from a place of fear, that's what you're gonna that's what you're gonna attract.
Hell yeah.
I wanted to ask you, do you feel like you're gonna have another baby? Would you have another kid?
I think because Zen is so much and having two kids is so much. I always say that I'll have a third baby if I have like a bomb ass, hands-on ass husband. Yeah. Like it just has to be that he's just like the one that goes out there and kicks the ball. Cause I like to sit back and like drink my wine or drink my tea. Like I'll get down with them, but I don't want to get down all the time. Damn it. You take the ball. So it would have to be like the perfect situation. Mm-hmm. So the answer isn't no, but it also ain't yes right now.
What is dating like with two kids? Is it different than, I mean, I guess you didn't know what it was like with one. So two, is it, do you feel judged? Did you feel insecure when you first started dating?
Oh my God, yeah. Especially like having sex after, and you're not with their father. I was like, whoa, this is weird. Right. But then I'm like, I kind of like that.
You're like, oh,
some kind of the shit.
That's what your dick do something different.
You struggling a little.
I was used to that other stroke, so wow, now this new one. Huh?
You're like, hold on. But I also realized I've never dated. I'm such a relationship girl.
Scorpios.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm sick of that shit. I need to stop doing that because I'll be like, oh, you're great. You have so much potential. Let me just pour all this love and life into you. And it's like, why do I keep stopping at one? Like, just date and have fun. So I'm actually really redefining what the fuck that looks like, you know? But yeah.
Yeah, so I feel you. I've definitely been like a serial dater or like relationship person, and after my baby daddy, it was like, okay, we can't do this anymore. Now I've been single for 4 years, and I'm like, now am I like addicted to not? Now I'm like the opposite. Like I was addicted to relationships, and now I'm addicted to just not being in a relationship and like scared to like settle because I'm like, niggas be changing. Like they're cool for like 365 days, and then like on that 366th day, they're like, surprise, and I'm like, ooh,
yeah, no, yeah.
I'm definitely afraid of commitment. Any sign that you have any problems, I'm like,
you always say that.
I don't. Oh, you have a problem. I don't like it. Yeah. Only I can have problems.
That's it. There's no room.
There's no room for your problems, my problems. You know, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to exit.
And I feel like I'm more focused on being like really good friends with them, because it's like, if we're good friends, I'm not saying you can't screw me over, but it just feels a little bit different, you know? It's like, but when I jump in like, oh, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, it's like, oh, are you pretending? Like, are you pretending? What's going on here? So I feel like the friend thing is like, it's cool, especially because a lot of my homeboys that I'm not interested in like that, you know, they teach me a lot about my worth, like just as a woman. They're like, you're tight, you deserve this, like get this. Oh, he said that, fuck that, he's doing this.
Right.
And I'm like, wait, having homeboys is like the tightest shit ever. So then when I go back in date, I'm like, yeah, my friend,
Yeah, he said you would do this shit.
He said you would do this, and that means that, and that. It's like a whole, I'm like, men are fucking nuts. You know?
They're crazy.
Like, they're emotional as shit.
Emotional.
It is important to have homeboys. I think obviously sometimes it's a hard space to navigate because a lot of times your homeboys want to fuck you.
Yeah.
But or maybe you did fuck them, but now they're your homeboys now.
Yeah.
But like even me, like I have one of my friends who, you know, we've done our thing, but like we're just friends, and he'll always keep it real with me.
Yeah.
And he'll always be like, yeah, he got like probably 4 other bitches.
Yeah.
And I think women, like oftentimes we need our girls, but there's only so much advice a bitch can give about
For real. Yeah.
a man.
Yeah.
Like they're not men. We're not men, you know? And so I think it's true. I think we need to advocate for having more homeboys, platonic male friends to lean on as far as getting real advice about dating.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like when you navigate spaces as friends first, you get more of the person and not the representative.
Girl, yeah.
As soon as you start talking about titles and shit, and then
start getting tricky.
Then you start being somebody else,
Acting weird, acting
even
different.
Even for me, I find myself being really free, like talking about my business, like, oh, my boyfriend in this place, my boyfriend in that place, and then like if you like me, then I'm like, let me maybe not mention all my hoes. You know what I mean? Like you start to
You feel like you have to be a little more conservative.
Yeah, and I despise that. So show me who the fuck you are right now, friend.
Right.
And
For
then
real.
and then I'll decide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Friend.
I am still on a dick talks, guys. I know.
How many weeks has it been? 2?
Shut the fuck up. How many weeks have you started yours? Have you started yours? The one you said you were going to join me on?
I said I'm gonna join in June.
You did not say June.
I did.
Oh, wait, hold on. We need to rewind to week 1 of April when you said. Okay, I don't recall June being said, but okay.
You know what? I have been exploring like my sex drive and what that means to me, because I like sex a lot, but then I'm like, why do I like sex so much? Like, is it because I associate sex with like love? you know, like, do I feel wanted during sex? Because this guy that I like, he wasn't having sex with me enough. He's like, I really like you. Like, you're my homie, and I want to, like, really explore that. I don't want to just fuck on you. I want to fuck on you, but I also want to, like, really pay attention to our friendship. And I was offended. I told Erica, I was like, he said he's like respects me and he wants to be my friend.
Wait, that happened to me too. And I was like, what do you mean you don't want to fuck on me? And I was like, is it me? Am I not attracted?
Right.
He's like, I didn't say that. What are you talking about? I'm like,
looking at
I just
my
don't
pussy.
understand. Right. I'm like, shit. I'm putting my finger in there like,
right.
Hold on. What is going on? Are you sure? Right. I'm like, wait, I'm so confused.
You're very flexible.
He said,
wow.
right. I know. She's like, he said he respects me and all this.
And then Erica's like, maybe he does.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to not. I was like, I felt like he friend zoned me.
Yeah, that's what she said. She was like, he friend zoned me. I'm like, it sounds like he just wants to get to know you, but also have sex with you.
Yeah.
But then it made me realize, like, what the fuck about me associates like the sexual physical part with love and attention? And do I need therapy? Probably, you know, a little bit. But like, yeah. But I've also been as I get older, I'm better at like going inside of myself and then like reevaluating why I'm feeling certain ways. I've been doing a lot of that. So obviously I told Erica, and then she was like, I was like, yeah, maybe I do have a problem. But I also feel way more confident expressing myself. I told him that yesterday. I was like, so are you trying to friend zone me? Because this is how I feel. I feel like you're trying to like, why don't you want to have sex with me?
Poor thing.
I know. I was like, have sex with me right now, please.
No,
No?
I hear you though. I feel you.
I think women are just so fucking horny. I want to feel wanted and loved.
I think in our 30s, I feel like my sex drive is hot. I literally feel myself go in heat. And I act crazy.
I know.
And like this didn't happen in my 20s.
No, I feel like as soon as I turned 30, I was like, why do I just want to fuck all the time? I'm like, what the hell?
I literally will have like a few days. It's like I'm telling you where I like get crazy, and it doesn't mean I'm always acting like having sex with other people. Like maybe I'm having sex with myself, but it's like, or I'm like sending a bunch of nudes, and then I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah,
you're right.
And then I'm like, you didn't need all that. and then I'm out of the heat, and then I'm like, whoa. Yeah. And then it happens again, like 3 months later.
I catch Erica like taking like nudes in all weird places all the time. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Wait, the other day, Jamila, actually, this was when I was in heat. The other day, Jamila opened we were in the car, and she was like, let me see your computer. She opened it up, and it was like 5 pages of you porn, just like, and like I think Irie was in the back seat too. Just opened it up, and it was like fucking like orgy sex or something.
Yeah, it's like all the time, Erica. Every time I open your fucking computer. Every
Scorpio
single time.
shit.
It's so bad. And you know what's even worse is that
shit.
I recently realized that my search engine is connected to my daughter's iPad.
Erica, great.
She doesn't know how to clear her history. She's so stupid.
But May, our manager, was like, bitch, why are you not using the private browser? I was like, what's a private browser? Gotta look into that.
I know. I really utilize. Now that our kids are fucking older and can open our phones and know my password, I need to change my password. I had to put all my sexy shit in the hidden folder.
Girl.
But then I was looking at my hidden folder this morning to like get off this morning. I was looking at my archives, and I was like, wow, this is a lot of niggas in this hidden folder.
Wow.
I was just like, it was like all my niggas in the last year. I was like, maybe I should go through this and take some out. If anybody found this hidden folder, it looks pretty intense.
It's you cornrowing niggas' hair. Jamila's for some reason, our Dropbox is connected to Jamila's phone.
We are the most untechnically savvy podcasting.
So I'm in our Dropbox, like looking for something to post, and I just see so much inappropriate shit. I like know everything this bitch is doing all the time. I'm like, so you were cornrowing this nigga's hair in Tennessee, and then you were in
Tennessee.
Mexico with Orlando, and then
there's like a picture of me looking up in Orlando's dick next to my face, and she just screenshots it and sends it to me. Like, how did you get this? She's like, it's in our Dropbox, bitch. And it's just me, like,
gosh, Jamila,
dick and me. My happy place.
Wellness April.
Wellness April.
Oh my gosh.
Funny.
I don't know.
I need a sex therapist. I need to work on. I need to go back.
I don't know how we got here. We're supposed to have a serious conversation.
This is serious. I'm confessing my problems.
I'm like, this is serious.
Oh my God. Well, I was actually I was looking at your Instagram because I love your rants that you go on your walks, on your runs, on your drives, and you were talking about you were talking about everyone has that like negative friend that, you know, you used to be in the space where like you'd be like, I'm going to cut this person off, but like you feel more so that like you need to check on your friends and make sure they're good instead of like cutting that negative friend off. And we were having this conversation before we started recording, and I was like, I don't agree. I was like, we cut all these niggas off. Anyone negative is out. But I do understand what you were saying. Can you like elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, because I feel like in the past I would cut off people too fast. And then and then I'm like, bitch, but you go through your shit too. And I'm like, when I needed people in those negative moments, you know, people would like help me come out. But I do think there's a difference when it's like, you just not getting it, baby. Like, I'm gonna have to catch you later. But if it's like, I feel like you have to weigh out the options. Like, okay, if this is like a good, cool person and they're just having a moment, I feel like that's more of like, let me check on you. But sometimes it's just a bad seed. Shit.
I feel like some people are stuck. Like some people really are stuck, you know. And like, there's people like Jamila whose gift is to unstuck people, and there's people like me who are like, I'll catch you when you unstuck, or like,
breathe. Tell me your problems. Let's explore it together.
Ooh, you are such a Cancer.
I was like, it's my life purpose is to unlock people.
He's so close-minded, but I'm working on
unlocking.
him.
And then I'm looking at people being so uncomfortable, and Jamila's unlocking them, and then they're like,
I think I'm like an unlocking witch, and some people do not like it. I'm like, just breathe with me. Come on, please.
They're like, don't touch me. I'm triggered. She's like, you're not triggered.
And then I tell Erica, like, they're so rude. It's so negative. Wow, that guy was negative. She's like, you're touching him, and he doesn't want to be touched. I'm like, why? I'm giving him love. What a fucking asshole, right?
I'm like, you don't know his fucking history. Maybe he was like, like molested or something, and you're over here touching him. She's like, never thought about it that way.
Oh, shit.
Like I agree with that. I think that like I need to learn more patience with people. I think that I'm quick to, if it feels, because I'm so about flow, especially like with having my child, having like ending my relationship, and like being in this space with in this space with good moms, and just in my life in general. Like, I feel like I've had so much alignment happen in my life, and like there's been so many things that have come to me because I've rejected anything stagnant. Yeah. So that I'm almost afraid of it. Yeah. Like, it, like that first sign of it, I'm like, oh. No, gotta go. And like, that's not always healthy, because like, because some people, they do need help, and sometimes it's just a matter of like, you know, like pushing them to the water, and hopefully they'll drink. And I think for me, like in the past, like I've pushed people to water and they haven't drank, and like I've been irritated, or I felt disappointed, or I felt like, damn, I wasted so much energy. Yeah. And trying to do that over and over and again with people, you know, even in relationships. Like, I know you said like you pour into people, and like so do I. And I've had to be so
careful. We're women.
I've had to be so careful with that though, because like, yeah, I will pour a whole ass
girl. I'll pour you
gallon.
Into a whole new man. Damn it.
You will walk out. Look,
for a new bitch.
Look, for another bitch, right? I didn't build you up for the next bitch. Like, you didn't, motherfucker.
I know. I was telling my baby daddy. I said, he was like, I'm better. I'm better now. He's like, I get better with age. I said, nigga, you're better because I made you better. Girl. I was like, your clothes fit now? Yeah, I know.
I bought them.
Yeah, those teeth. Yep, fix them. It's. But you have to be careful I feel like I've had to be careful who I pour myself into. But I also have to I've also acknowledged that because I'm so about flow, I'm very much quick to be like, you're fucking up my flow. Yeah, you gots to go.
Yeah, but see, I feel like if I see, I feel like it's also a like a boundary thing, you know. Like, if I start to feel too uneasy, I'm like, okay, you gotta go. Like, if it starts fucking up your flow, that's a problem.
I feel like you have to really, it's hard. You have to really know yourself, because there's always there's always a question about like, what's too much? Yeah. How much can I give? You know, and as women, we always be giving and pouring and shit until we're fucking empty. And then we're like, what the fuck? You know, especially with like we were talking about, having kids, we have to pour into them. So like, extending that to an additional person, you have to really, in friendships and in romantic relationships, is like, you got to be careful, because like me, I want to heal everybody, and then I'm like, I don't like him at all. Yep. You know, and it's like, why did I do that? Because part of it's like, I feel like for me is sometimes people pleasing. or feeling like I don't know. Some of it brings me joy. It does bring me joy to like be there for people and these things. But also sometimes I'm like, I'm good. And also I'm not forcing anything. I don't want to force anyone to like me. I don't want to force anyone. Like if it feels like I have to force the relationship, then I'm not going to do it. And I don't care how long I've known you, friend or lover or otherwise. No. Like I'm not convincing you to like make this work. Because I got hella friends.
I feel like mine was the people pleasing thing too. And then having 2 kids, I'm like, I don't have the capacity to people please. But I still do it to an extent, but I know like my limits. I'm like, yeah, I'm burned out. Yep, no. I'm like, it's to me, it blows my mind. I'm like, how many people want my attention from like so many different angles, like just for themselves, and it's like, I love your energy, and I'm like, yeah, bitch, me too. Like,
right? Even when I'm out and I find myself making new friends, I'm like, refrain, stop, go back, don't do it. You have no more time.
You have no more space.
I have no more space. I'm like, take my number. I'm like, don't call me.
Right. Actually, you're like, let me just curve the wrong number right at the end.
Yeah, you want to go to lunch? Oh, fuck, I got another friend.
Girl. No, for real. I feel you.
I don't have the capacity for one more fucking friend, but I keep making them. It's crazy.
It's like real problems. I'm like, I hear you, girl.
Oh my God. I feel like too, like the flow and the positivity and like wanting like positive people in your life, right? Like there's always like, I was thinking when you were talking about for the friend that's going through something, I was also thinking about like the friend that's always talking shit and like, just like having to, even myself, like I noticed like I'm in a different space now. Like I feel like I wasn't always like a girl's girl, right? Like I had female friends, but I was jealous. I would be jealous of women. Or I'd be like wanting, like, why did they get that and I didn't get that? Or like, damn, I'm just as good as that or this and that. And I think also growing up in LA, being an actor too, my whole life, like there was a lot of comparing going on. And you said this thing on, and it stuck with me because I was like, damn, that's so true. And you said, a happy girl ain't hating. And hating girls ain't happy.
And the real thing is, happy hoes ain't hating, and hating hoes ain't happy.
Did you change the hoes?
I had to. You know, some people, oh my God.
I'm not a hoe.
Girl.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Come on. We all are. We all are. It's okay, girl. It's what it's there
for. But
it's
so true. I think especially like on social media too. And like, it's just, you see so many people talking shit, but then I think there is a shift. I feel like there's a shift in, I was saying that I feel like it's a woman's renaissance. There's a black renaissance happening. And there's also a women's renaissance happening where women are like so much more like empowered to help one another.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you are hating, like, bitch, what are you doing?
Yeah, like you don't fit. It's
you
like,
it's
literally like you lost your fucking, you missed the train, bitch. Get your ass back.
Yeah, it's not
there.
cute. It's not cute anymore.
Like, it's like there's no space for it.
Yeah.
So when I see people do that, I'm just like, ooh, was that me? Was I that? I was that bitch.
I used to be like that too.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, that's the only reason why I can say it out loud is be like, but when I was doing that, I wasn't happy. But I've had friends that were like that and I've had to cut them off because I'm like, I don't get down with that. Like, that's not serving neither one of us. And bitch, you're not going to get nowhere doing that. And I'm on my way somewhere. So
right. So I'm going to leave you here at the bus stop. Yeah. I got to get on.
See you when I see you. See you when I see you.
Yeah. Or just people who are just not happy at all. You know, when I was going through stuff and it was heavy, weighing on me heavily, because usually I can maintain pretty well, like when I'm going through shit and save face. But when I was going through stuff and like I would get phone calls from friends that have more shit going on than me, there was like a whole year where I just like would avoid certain people because people come to you because they are familiar with you helping them.
Yeah.
But when you're going through shit, I literally was just not answering the phone for certain people because I didn't have the capacity to hear about your problems. Bitch, I have problems.
Yeah.
And I don't want, and then I also noticed even when I was going through stuff, because I think we're built to maintain and save face. When I would feel sometimes that like Erica's my best friend, but like even sometimes talking to people about what I was going through, I felt like a burden.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, God, I'm always going through some shit or feeling like, am I a burden? Like, are you judging me because you feel like I am going through shit? Or maybe I felt like I've put myself in this position and now I'm like having to deal with the remnants of that. But I just think it's so important. When you're going through shit, you can't put other shit on your plate. And certain people are always going to come to you with their shit. And if you can't offer me anything but your shit, I can't do it.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like if it's always something with you, like I can't. This is my year to have some shit going on with me, and I can't do both.
Yeah, that part. You have to read this book called Attach. It's so good, but it like everything you're saying. Yeah,
Attach.
It's so fucking good. Okay. It's like
it's not detached.
I'm right.
Are you sure it's called Attach and not detached?
Yeah. Okay. But it teaches you how to detach. But it teaches you like your attachment style, like in relationship.
What is your attachment style?
Mine, I feel like used to be more anxious, but now I'm anxious secure. But I feel like I'm leaning more into secure because I'm just more aware of self, you know? That book is so fucking good.
What isn't it like an
You were dismissive avoidant. I remember you took that test and you got dismissive avoidant. 100%.
Okay. Dismissive avoidant, which was like the confused one, right? Like I'm both. Like I think I want someone really bad. I can attach really easily. Erica tells me this every week. But then I'll detach really easily too.
That's an avoidant. Yeah. You're an avoidant.
Because I want you. I want to feel attached. I want to feel special. It makes me feel valuable. But then when it gets too real, I'm like, gotta go.
So that's an avoidant. And then do you feel like you attract because are you familiar with an anxious attachment?
I've read this, but
because you attract if you're avoidant, then you attract an anxious attachment style, and they're like, oh come on, like, you know, and it's like a lot, and you're like, okay, I gotta go. Yeah.
Like I'll ask for it. I'll be the one a lot, like, oh, I love you.
So anxious attachment. I went on the internets. I went on.
Take this test, lady.
I did. What was I? Do you remember me? I feel like I'm whatever Felicia is because we're the same person. Anxious attachment style is also known as preoccupied attachment, meaning that your partner may become preoccupied with how they are perceived by you and are preoccupied over analyzing the relationship rather than actively. This is confusing as fuck.
No, I'm like, hold on.
What the fuck? I'm like, am I not smart?
No, that's like too wordy.
Wait. 10 signs of anxious attachment in adults. Okay, number 1, lacking a strong sense of self and low self-esteem. 2, tendency to put others and their needs first. Strong desire for relationships and intimacy and hard time being alone. Seeking approval and reassurance from others. Clingy, needy, strong fear of rejection, criticism, abandonment. That's probably me. Becoming extremely upset when receiving disapproval, jealousy and frustration, overanalyzing and worrying excessively about relationships, easily ignoring or misreading signs of relational issues. Does that sound
intense?
It does come from your childhood.
Yeah.
Which I've been exploring that a lot.
Dismissive though, and it makes sense if you're a people pleaser because it's like you had to be self-sufficient. So
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got this. I don't need anybody else. So you like the beginning, you cover up trauma with humor. Like you can slide in and out of shit easily, but it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah. It's crazy. And then when somebody gets too much, you're just like, oh yeah, gotta go the other way. And then that person's over there. Then it's so crazy your attachment style, who you attract. But so like me being an anxious attachment style for like the most part, like I said, I feel like I'm transitioning out of that to more secure. I would attract anxiousness. I mean, I would attract avoidant, but it's always like I feel like I'm chasing them because I've had all these other things. But the book teaches you that as an anxious person, like if I go on dates, I know what to look for now instead of going after this avoidant, like things that are hard.
Because you feel like,
oh my God,
because you feel like you're winning a reward by changing their mind, like changing them and making them not run but be yours.
Well, it's like the highs and the lows. It's the roller coaster. But then it's like, no, bitch, get off the roller coaster and just be here. Yeah. So I have to be with a man that's more secure. That like if he knows that I'm anxious, then he would just be like, I love you, and just like constantly. But the thing with anxious attachment is when you have somebody that's secure, they're fucking boring. And I'm like,
you want to chase.
I know. I'm like, but it's boring over here.
Oh my God.
No, stress me out.
Fuck. No, I want to. Like, I need a lot of affirmation. I need a lot of like, I love you. You're beautiful. You're amazing. Let's
I'm like, grab my booty every time I walk
every
by.
single time.
Every time.
Compliment me every day. Tell me you love me. Truly. Like, I need that. I'm crazy.
It's so true. I think I'm definitely attracted to avoidance type of people. All of them want to be in open relationships and avoid commitment.
Yep, they don't like commitment.
They don't want to talk. They don't want to like talk. Well, actually, no. Actually, the few men that I've dated lately, they talk fucking a lot. But it's the avoidance part. And then, so because I'm not having sex and doing this dick talks or whatever, I've been really starting to explore too my ideas about non-monogamy because I don't feel like monogamy is natural, right? And I've expressed this to men, and usually if you tell a man that you're non-monogamous, they automatically think you're a hoe, but we do. That's what I've also realized too, because I'm like, that's been coming up with the men that I've dated. Like, they think that I just want to be out here in these streets, and I'm like, nigga, you told me you were non-monogamous. Are you a hoe? Like, what the fuck?
I just want the option,
girl. Right.
But I've been thinking more about that, and I've been thinking, do I want non-monogamy because I feel like that's all that I can get? Like, I'm not gonna find a man that can be monogamous, and therefore I feel like this is the lifestyle that I have to adopt. And I go back and forth with it because I'm like, no, bitch, you really don't really want to be with one person your whole life. I mean, you do want partnership, but it's not that you don't want to be with someone sexually your whole life. It's just like, you don't want to have the disappointment of, if it happens, you feel so disappointed because you guys made these fucking false promises to one another. Yeah. So it's easier to at least have this foundation of like, all right, we've agreed that we love each other, we want to be with one another, but that like we're human and that we might fuck up.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, okay, maybe that's more in the space that I want to be versus like, let's just like, if you're attracted to someone and you want to sleep with them, like, you can talk to me about it and that's fine. Like, do I really want that?
Yeah, I'm open, but also I need to be the main squeeze number one person. And that only happens after you've told me 400 million times that I'm beautiful. I'm the main squeeze number one person. And then maybe I'll let you go do your thing.
Right. Don't take from me to fucking fill up another bitch, okay?
Yeah, like, just keep it. And don't like her too much.
Yeah. And just keep it right there.
What are your views on monogamy? Like, how do you feel about it? Do you seek, or is your relationship, you want someone that is monogamous? Or could you have a relationship that's more open and like you guys just talk about it?
I'm still identifying that. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know because I've started dating. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm learning something different from each man. And I'm like, wait, but I feel like I'm supposed to experience them. That I don't know what this is leading to, but I'm learning so much about myself, you know? And I know that they're learning a lot about themselves. So I'm like, is that how it's supposed to be forever?
I've been really
I'm like,
when does the learning stop?
Right. Never. I'm like, do we land on like a grand prize? Right. Like, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Right. That's the only thing. But I also feel like, and I think I learned this from their father, is that like men are men. And I feel like they're gonna fuck other people. Like,
I hate that statement.
I know. I'm like,
that's what my daddy taught me. My dad said,
but what about women are women and we're gonna fuck other people? Because that's what I keep.
No, I think it's both.
But we're only taught the one.
Yeah, of course.
And if you want to do it, then you're a slut. And I'm so fucking annoyed.
Oh, I love having these conversations with like guys that I'm dating because they always want to pull that like, well, you know, you guys aren't built like that. I'm like, sis, the fuck who?
Right. Actually, I am.
I'm like, I have a vagina and
it's built for
fucking.
That's
why because men think that because we internalize that we shouldn't be taking too much in.
But you could just be
they're external. They could just poke in dark holes all day long. Like,
oh, fuck.
Because that's usually the conversation that I have with men. It's like, it's about like our anatomy and that it's like, because we internalize shit, we shouldn't be taking too much in.
That's just some shit they said to make us feel
of course.
Like it was justified. That
because you don't have to, I feel like just to, like, if you're fucking someone doesn't mean you have to necessarily take in their energy. Like, I know for a fact in the past, like if I've just had sex with someone and it doesn't mean anything, it just doesn't mean anything. I just wanted to have sex.
Yeah.
But there's times where it's like, oh, I love you and it's passionate. I'm like, so who the fuck told y'all the wrong thing?
I can choose what it's about to be.
Period.
Yeah, I can, but also the reason why I'm not having sex is because sex it's confusing. I feel like it's
very confusing.
It gets you confused, and like I'm like seeing two people right now and I'm not having sex with them, and it's like when I do have sex with them, like I'll know that I actually fuck with you. Yeah. And it won't be the dick that made me think I fuck with you. Yeah, because if I fuck you on the second date and the dick is bomb, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, like he did not call me back because his phone died. Like, it's fine. He was busy. Like, and it's like, and they'll fuck me again. I'm like, yeah, right. That was what happened. And then like 6 months down the line, he had a whole ass other bitch he's been with the whole time, and I didn't know.
Yeah. So see, my ass be waiting until it's like, okay, we're cool. I fuck with you, then I'll fuck you, but not too soon, because I feel like in the past it's like, oh fuck, you just disappear.
Where'd you go?
I'm like, oh, did I do something wrong?
Because men, like, I've asked multiple men this question, like, having sex on the first date, is that like, does that, or like a first date or too soon, because we had this passport Cuddy on. She's like a dating expert, and she basically teaches women like how to get what they want, whether that's money, whatever, attention from men. And she always says the number one rule that women fuck up on is having sex too fast with men. Mm-hmm. And so I've asked men, like, does a woman having sex with you too fast change your perception of them? And they always say no.
That's what I always hear.
Always say no.
I feel like they always say no.
It's a motherfucking lie.
Yeah, and not only that, I have people that I've had sex with, and I'm like, we've been friends for a long time, and it's not an issue. Like, but then there's other like little hoe guys that are just like, yeah, I just wanted to fuck, cross that off my list, you know. Like, I think that's not. I think sometimes it's not. It's subconscious for them. Like they don't even. They might really believe that it doesn't matter, but like then they have sex with you that second or third date. Like something in them, something shifts a little bit for them. Yeah. Like, oh, they got that, and now like, everything else is just like whatever. Like, oh, this date was cool. Well, I've already fucked you though. Like, there's nothing to look forward to.
I feel like I can't get rid of niggas.
Right. I'm like,
can you stop calling me already? We just had sex. Relax.
So, but I feel like it's that attitude. Relax. But I feel like it's that attitude to be like, it's almost like, I feel like as women, at least what I'm learning too, is like, I can't show you that I care too much. Like I got to pull it back and be like, yeah, you know, I'm busy. I mean, I am busy. But when I do that, I'm like, oh fuck, they actually call more. Yeah. You know? Yeah. But if I'm like on them and I'm just like, oh, I brought you lunch.
Niggas don't want you to play games, but the moment you play games, then they love you.
Yeah. I'm like,
this takes me back to my bitch, like the bitch Bible. Everyone should read Why Men Love Bitches. It was made a long time ago, but every woman should read it because bitch is breaking shit down, okay? She's like, be a bitch, you'll get married. Honestly, if you just leave niggas alone, they'll come flocking to you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is because men are so used to having the upper hand and like women and used to women chasing or like
and they like to chase. They're built to chase shit and hunt shit.
Yes. And I'm like I'm so anti that. Like, even when niggas are like, so what are we doing here? I'm like, why are you talking to me? I hate, like, I've never been the girl to be like, so we've been dating for 3 months. We had sex. Like, are we together?
Oh my God, that's me.
I will not.
In my last situation, I was like, so you have till July to make me your girlfriend, or it's over.
Or it's over. I'm like, oh, 1 more month, bitch.
I've actually never done that before, but me and this man, we've been doing this for far too long. Like, we've been going back and forth for a long time. So I was like, look, nigga, this is what it is. And guess what? We're not together anymore.
Done.
Oh my God. Well, this was fun. I'm so glad we got to hang out.
Me too.
Discuss our deep inner workings, our attachment styles, our inner child.
I'm gonna take the attachment. I was trying to take it right now, but it says it's gonna take 20 minutes. So
it was.
It takes time.
It was confusing for me because I was like, am I answering these questions honestly? Like, I'm confused. I was like just so confused with myself. I'm like, do I like niggas or do I don't like niggas?
Right, no, so for real. Sometimes I'm like, well, shit, it depends on the day.
Right.
Ask me tomorrow, I'll be different. Yeah.
God, yes.
Women confused as fuck. Just listen to the podcast, we'd be confused. Every fucking week, new shit.
Yeah. You're like, wait, bitch, what did you just say?
Last week I was monogamous. This week's I'm poly.
Yeah, shit.
I'm an open poly fairy this week. Last week I was married, so it's just, it fluctuates.
Mind your business.
But you're being authentic, you're being authentic, you're being yourself. And I think people that like make these like stone cold agreements with themselves like do themselves a disservice. They leave like no room for like growth and flexibility. And like I think all three of us are a testament to like you have to let change do its thing. You have to let the universe do its thing, because when you do, you open yourself up to so much more. And like you said, like you're learning so much more in every single relationship. I totally can agree. And I feel that. I feel like every man that I've dated since, becoming single, like I've learned so much about myself. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm like last year I was like, I'm totally cool with non-monogamy. I'm done. Like that's it for me. And now I'm like, well, I'm like, I don't know if I am.
Yeah.
And your jealous fucking psycho comes out. When I'm like, oh, I am monogamous because I'm going to cut a bitch. I will cut you.
But just like, leaving room to grow is really important. And like not deciding certain things stone cold, because
Yeah, being open, I feel like, too. Because I think being open just, like, leads to so much growth. I'm like, had I not dealt with some people, I'm like, I wouldn't have realized that, and that, you know? And I feel like it also helps me identify, like, okay, this is what I want. And I guess, like, the perfect person. But it's like, he's very imperfect, whoever the fuck that guy is.
Right. It's what you want and then, like, what you need to work on.
Yeah.
Because I've, like, in relationships, I'm like, oh, damn, I have not checked in with my, like, oh,
Girl.
I thought I was ready. Not really.
Girl.
Yeah, I really like the things you think you've grown from. You don't know. And I was telling Jamila this too, because like about my last relationship, I was like, I've done all this work, but I had never put it into practice. Like I had to get into that relationship to put the work in practice to see, does this feel good? Like try it on and be like, yeah, I don't really like the way that feels, or like, oh shit, I do need to work on that more. And so I don't know. It's all a learning growth experience. Dating is weird.
It's real weird.
Fun. Maybe the next time you come on our show, we'll all be married.
Jamila, zoom in on her face, please.
I do want to be married, though.
She's like, just not the next time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, can you tell our listeners where to find you? Do you have any any drops coming soon?
Oh, we have the Mother's Day box. Oh, it's so good. The Mother's Day box is going to be really good. We're going to release it the last week of April.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that people can
this
get
episode
their
comes out last week, April. So.
Perfect. So people can get their shit, and I don't want to hear nothing about your box didn't get there on time. We gave you a week. So that's on collectivelymindful.com, and then you can find us on Instagram @ismindfulfee, and then my personal is Felicia La Tour.
Yes, make sure you go follow her because she be dropping gems every day, and her babies are so cute. I
was like, oh, fine, bitch. I'm gonna stop avoiding my life. I'm gonna go do my laundry.
She's like, fuck, okay.
One day I was like, okay, bitch.
Right. So I love when people say, they're like, well, drag me, why don't you? I'm offended. Why are you screaming at me? I'm like, hey, baby, if the shoe fits, put it on. Shit.
You guys know where to find us at goodmoms_bad_choices. Make sure you go leave us a review on Apple, y'all.
We're almost at 1,000. I'm like, I don't understand why we have to say this every week.
I don't understand why we have thousands and thousands of listeners and only maybe 1,000 reviews on Apple. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Can you just leave the fucking